Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Tuesday Berry. I'm actually going to talk to you today about surviving toxic relationships and the steps that I took moving forward, finding myself. Um, a little bit about me. I was in some two serious toxic relationships. And one was for 7 years, the other one was for almost 2 years. And I had to realize that I had to find myself, I had to find my strength, and realize that I deserve better than what I was being given. Um, you see, when you're in these toxic relationships, sometimes you don't see the signs, or we see the signs, but we don't pay attention to them. And in my case, the signs were there, but I just didn't pay attention. Um, but it was actually God that helped me to realize that I was in a relationship with someone that who didn't appreciate me, that literally had a whole nother life aside outside of the life that he had created with me, or what I thought that we was creating together. Um, and he I think the plan for him was to try to destroy me, in the process. And see, when we have a good God and a great God and a father that really loves us, sometimes he has to step in and take control of the situation. And in my case, that's exactly what he did. And I'm so grateful to him for doing that, because he kept me. He knew the life that I had. I came from a background that it was really tough. I haven't always had good people in my life, and it's not because I'm a bad person. It's just I feel now, and I realize now, that I probably made some bad choices as far as trusting the wrong people. Um, but I come to realize that someone that has a good heart, sometimes people try to take advantage of that situation and that person and their kindness. And in my case, that was my situation. I had a lot of takers, not really givers, you know. But I realized that when I almost lost myself and I almost lost who I was as a woman, um, it was time for me to say no more, that I wasn't going to allow myself to go through this anymore, because I endured so much my entire life. I'm 50 years old. 45 years of that has been trauma. Wrong men, wrong friends, some family members that were wrong. Um, just sometimes I used to feel like what am I put here for? You know, why did God have me? Why did he keep me? There were so many times that I felt like giving up. I felt like I didn't even want to be alive anymore, you know? Um, See, people try to tear you down. They literally try to, when a person don't know how to love, and they don't know who they are as a person, or they try to sell you a dream to make you feel like you're this special person in their life, and that they love you and they're going to protect you, and they give you that fake facade as, oh, this is the life we're going to have together. But they, in the end, they have no intention of ever even having that with you. And I had to realize that in the situation that I was in, that this guy wasn't the Prince Charming that I thought he was. Yeah, he talked a good talk, had the looks. He was beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, he was evil. That's the only way I can describe him, is evil. The son of Satan. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that because that is truth, you know? And I come now to realize that I deserve way more than that. You see, especially someone like me coming from the past that I've had, you know, I had to wake up and say, like, how much more can a person take? There's only so much that a person can take in their life before they decide to just say, I'm done. Before they decide to say that I just give in. And in my case, I just chose to say that I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep fighting. And it had got to the point where I just threw up my hands one day, literally feeling like I was going to collapse and say, God, no more. I can't handle anymore. Save me. And when I tell you, that was the best thing that I could have ever done in my entire life, was call on him. After being separated for him for so long, I always knew that he was near, but I didn't really call on him and lean on him the way that I should have. you know it was more of when I was in tough situations, or when I was sick and I was scared, but I had to realize that God is not that kind of God where we just call on him when times are rough. We're supposed to call on him even when things are good, you know and I had to realize that. And dealing with this guy, that someone that I trusted, that used the fact that I had lost a fiance to cancer, and he used that as a way of gaining power, as his way of trying to gain control over me. But see, he thought that he had someone that was, now I'm not going to say stupid because that's a cruel word to use, but he thought that he had someone that had low self-esteem. He didn't know the type of woman that he really had. I might have been bruised, might have had some little scars, but I was far from what the woman he thought I was. So while he thought he was playing games with me, he didn't realize that God and I had a plan for him. See, when God wants to protect you, and when God sees that you had enough in your life, he will show up, intervene, and cause hell to break loose. And in my case, he did that for me. God saved me. He spared me. He spared me from the life of torment that this guy wanted to bring in my life. He caused me to see that he wasn't that Prince Charming that I thought he was. He wasn't that nice person that I thought was going to protect me. He was actually the opposite. He had cruel intentions towards me. Very evil intentions towards me. See, when you deal with narcissists, their mindset is like someone who is, how could I describe him? Someone who is severely mentally unstable. They have a dark side of them that no one would ever know, And God pulled me out of that. And when this narcissist realized that he wasn't breaking me the way that he thought, Then he decided to show a side of him that I wouldn't wish on anyone, you know? But the one thing he did do for me was give me the power to say, you know what?